Alright guys, Revolve Rossler here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Clash of Champions 2017, the show that literally just finished. I want to upload the video now, literally at 4 in the morning, because I don't want to do it in the morning so I can have a line. So, Clash of Champions, it was a SmackDown Live exclusive show. It had 6 matches on its main card, had 1 pre-show match, which I didn't watch. I never watched the pre-show. I'm not an idiot. It was between Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder, and Mojo Rawley won. He won with a forearm in the corner. Whatever. I do not care. Apparently it was okay. Now the show kicked off with the triple threat match for the United States title between champion Baron Corbin, whose music, by the way, is amazing. And I realised that specifically when I went to WWE in Nottingham in November. His music pop-up just came up, just as I've started. His music is amazing. Absolutely amazing. It was Baron Corbin, the champion. Dolph Ziggler, who was added to the matchup really kind of last minute, which is a bit weird, and Bobby Roode. Now, this was a very good triple threat match. It was slow at the beginning. Roode and Ziggler took out Corbin, and then Roode and Ziggler did a couple of nice spots, but nothing too great. Corbin hit a deep six on Roode. Ziggler hit a famouser on Roode as well. Then Roode started to really fight back. Ziggler took Roode out. And then, totally just went mind totally blank. Ziggler took out Corbin, sorry, is what I meant to say. Then Ziggler went for the sweet chin music to Roode. Roode gave him the spinebuster, went for the glorious DDT. Ziggler countered that into his DDT for a good near fall, really good near fall there. Then Corbin started to totally kill everyone with lariats. He hit the chokeslam backbreaker on Bobby Roode outside the ring. Sorry. Roode finally got the glorious DDT on Ziggler, but Corbin ran in and tried to throw Roode out. Roode would eventually throw Corbin out, but as Roode got the cover, Corbin pulled him out so he couldn't get the 3 count. On the outside, Corbin gave Roode the chokeslam backbreaker, rolled him in, went for the end of days, but as he went for it, Ziggler hit the zigzag on Roode and hit the zigzag on Corbin and pinned Baron Corbin. Dolph Ziggler is the new United States champion. This was a swerve. He was added to the matchup, I thought, just to take the pin. That's literally what I thought. I thought Corbin was going to win, but they kind of teased Roode winning a lot more. They must have really lost a lot of faith in Baron Corbin because he hasn't had a great 2017, has he? Overall, though, very good matchup, some really good near falls, so I'm going to give it 3.5 stars, which is a lot more than other people, but I thought it was a very good opener to the show. I thought very fast-paced. Second match on the show was the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team matchup, and just before the match kicked off, we had Aiden English out with Rusev, telling us all that it was Rusev Day, doing the 12 days of Rusevmas. This was great. Rusev was so over on this show, and so was Aiden English. This is the most over Aiden English has probably ever been, and the most over Rusev has been in a long time since he was the undefeated guy on the main roster. This Fatal 4-Way Tag had different rules, though, so it was one man from each team would always be in. So basically, at the beginning, in the first minute, there was a really cool spot where Benjamin did like a belly-to-belly in literally the first minute off the top rope, and I was like, yeah, you start hot and you finish hot, that's cool. Then it slowed down, basically, what you had. We had the 2 heel teams, Rusev and English, and Gable and Benjamin, basically cut the ring in half and take out the 2 babyface teams. So Rusev and English had the New Day, which was Kingston and Big E this time, and the Gable and Benjamin had the Usos, so they basically cut off the ring and they went for pins and they broke them up, but you know they were still mutually allied, I suppose. Then eventually, of course, the babyfaces would come back. Hip attack in the corner from one of the Usos, big splash from Big E, both men pinned. Attempted to get the pin, but obviously kickouts from the 2 guys being pinned. Then we had really the best stuff, which was towards the end of the matchup. Really, Benjamin didn't do a lot in this match when I think about it. English didn't either. Big head kicks from Rusev a couple of times in the match as well. A lot of super kicks as well from Rusev. One for a good near fall. Eventually, I think he hit one to the back of the head of Big E. Yes, I think he did hit one to the back head of Big E. And then Gable ran in and he gave a deadlift German to Rusev. He gave the Chaos Theory, which is the O'Connor roll German suplex, to English. He then gave that same suplex to Big E. He then went to do it to one of the Usos, but that Uso got a blind tag to the other Uso. They gave Cable a super kick, a second super kick, and then the Uso splash for the 1-2-3. Also a very good matchup. I'm going to give this 3.5 stars as well. Very good, very fast paced, and a really, really good finishing stretch. It's just the beginning bit, which the crowd was really dead at the beginning, that really hurt the matchup to me. And I've just got talking smack in the background, so my eyes kind of look off to just looking at the screen. So yeah, champions retained. We've had a new champion and one champion retained. Third match on the show was another championship matchup. It was the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. Charlotte against Natalya, the Lumberjack matchup with the 7 Lumberjacks, who were Naomi, Tamina, Lana, Carmella, and then the Riot Squad, which of course consists of Ruby Riot, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan. Obviously, I haven't had a chance to talk about the Riot Squad's debut or Absolution on Raw. They are very similar, and it doesn't lead me to believe they're going to do something with the women. Maybe a chamber, maybe a rumble, maybe tag titles. Something has to be done, really, with this influx of 6 women at one time. I also had the idea of where was Becky Lynch in this match as a Lumberjack. She was the one missing. The belief that Carmella could cash in also came into my mind during this matchup. She did not, I will say that. She did tease it halfway through, but the Riot Squad took her out. So I like the story of this matchup, the fact that the 6 women on the outside, apart from Naomi, of course, who is a friend of Charlotte's, the 6 women on the outside, so the Riot Squad and then the other 3 heels, all wanted to get at Charlotte. So whenever Charlotte was front out, the 3 women would go after her, and the other 3 women would try and take out those 3 women to get at Charlotte. I like that story, but the action in the ring from Natalya and Charlotte was really mundane. It was very basic, just backbreakers, and then just Natalya threw Charlotte out the ring. Charlotte gets back in, throw him back out the ring, gets back in, throw back in. It was very mundane and very boring, and that really brought the match down to me. But the actual story was still interesting, and there was a couple of dives. Naomi dove on all the Lumberjacks and the 2 competitors at one point, and then Charlotte did a moonsault and took everyone out outside as well. She didn't take out Natalya, though. Natalya sent her into the ring post, and at that point, she put her back in the ring. She went for the sharpshooter. Charlotte tripped her, locking the figure 8 really, really quickly, and then made a tap out. And that was just a bit anticlimactic to me. Like, there was no big moves, really, in this match. No powerbomb from Charlotte, no neckbreaker, no spear, no Nat by Nature, the discus clothesline from Natalya. No real big moves in this matchup. And it just was a little bit anticlimactic to me, and that's why I'm only giving the match 2 3/4 stars. I like the story, but it was quite a boring matchup. Just next time the women do need to try a little harder. After the matchup, we had Natalya basically say that she's turning her back on the WWE Universe and the WWE. This seemed like a retirement angle, or like I'm leaving for a bit, which Natalya is about. I'm gonna guess 38, so I feel like her time has come, and there's a lot of women on the roster who have a better chance of getting somewhere. You've got I'm just looking at Zayn and Owens backstage. You've got, of course, the Riot Squad now are there. You've got Carmella, who still has that Money in the Bank briefcase. So you've got a lot of younger talent that I guess they want to push. So I guess they do have to kind of, no offense to Natalya, she's been there for 10 years now, and they do need to kind of shepherd the new talent in. So if this is a retirement angle, then great, because it was okay. But if it's not, then I can't really understand what it was done for. But anyway, the match gets 2 3/4 stars. Then we had maybe my most anticipated match, because I quite like the Bludgeon Brothers. It was the Bludgeon Brothers, Harper and Rowan, because we can't have first names anymore, against Breezango for Breeze. This match really went how it should. The Bludgeon Brothers killed them in 2 minutes. The Bludgeon Brothers got great theme music, by the way. The Bludgeon Brothers killed them in 2 minutes, killed them on the outside, killed Tyler Breeze on the outside with a couple of lariats, and then they basically set him face first into the apron. They then got Fandango in the ring, full Nelson powerbomb, double full Nelson powerbomb thing. Then they hit the double crucifix powerbomb to Fandango. 1, 2, 3. The Bludgeon Brothers win. These guys are definitely the next SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions, in my opinion. They've really got to be, and I think that is the best idea for everyone. I'm just Zayn and Owens are going crazy. Kind of spoils the next match's result, but I can't rate the Bludgeon Brothers match, but it was pretty much how it should have been, and that's exactly how I would have done it. So kudos. It was probably up to this point my favourite thing on the show. Then we had the match that I was probably really most excited for, the tag team matchup where if Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens lost, they would be fired from not just SmackDown Live, but the WWE. And they worded it that way to the point where you knew Zayn and Owens couldn't lose. Of course, it was Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, the Yep movement, against Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura. This match, to me, with Shane and Daniel Bryan as special referees, was about as good as it could be. It was okay. The action was okay. There was a couple of moments which made it really good. Sammy hit a blue thunderbomb and got his apron DDT. Owens got a couple of super kicks. Nakamura didn't do that much really, although towards the end he got the double knees in the corner. He got the his leaping kick, which looked awesome. But Shane and Bryan, basically, it was weird to think how this would work with two referees, but basically at the beginning, Shane was giving a lot more leeway to Orton and Nakamura, and Bryan basically gave more leeway to Zayn and Owens, and to me it didn't make Bryan a heel, it just made him seem like he's trying to counterbalance anything. And if anything, it made him seem like more of a babyface because he was helping the heels no matter what. And then what happened was they basically split the ring in half. Bryan, if there were any pinfalls on his side, he would count them. Shane, if there were any pinfalls on his side, he would count them. I thought that was a nice way to actually do it, to be fair. Eventually, Nakamura was taken out on the outside. Kevin Owens gave him a bullfrog splash off one announce table, through the other announce table. A new announce table had to break on this show somewhere, and it really had to be in this match. Nakamura was taken out on the outside. Orton hit an RKO on Zayn in the ring. 1, 2. Shane counts 1, 2. But then, as Owens is rushing in to break the pin, he knocks Daniel Bryan into Shane, which of course makes him stop the count. Bryan and Shane go at it for a couple of seconds. Then Orton and Zayn start to trade cradles, which I thought was quite a nice spot. Sami Zayn goes for a schoolboy on Orton. Shane counts 1. Shane counts 2. Orton is clearly down for the 3. Shane doesn't count the 3. Bryan gets right in Shane's face and says, "That's the 3 count. You need to count that." Zayn is obviously pissed off. It's the first time I've sworn in this review. Clearly, obviously pissed off. As this is happening, so obviously, like, Zayn has obvious beef now because he's been screwed here by Shane, and that's a babyface screwing a heel, which is different, I suppose. So as Bryan and Shane are arguing, Orton spins around Zayn, goes for the RKO, but Zayn counters it, schoolboys him. Bryan does a fast count on Shane's side of the ring. 1, 2, 3. Zayn and Owens win, and Zayn and Owens keep their jobs, obviously. Shane is out of his mind after the matchup. Bryan gets out of the ring and holds up Owens' arm to say that they have won. This match is weird. It wasn't bad. It certainly wasn't a bad match, but it wasn't like this really great match that those 4 guys, if they had a tag match, could have had a really great tag match. I'm going to give it 3 stars. The referee's thing was done better than I really thought it could, but it was still kind of clusterfucky at times, I'm just going to say it. But yeah, the action was okay for most of it, but there were a couple of spots that were really, really good, like that bullfrog splash. And that's why I've given it 3 stars. And then we had the main event, Jinder Mahal and AJ Styles. This is Jinder Mahal's best match ever. I feel like someone else got interviewed after a match. Oh, it was Corbin. I think it was Corbin who got interviewed after he lost the title, and it was backstage with Corbin, and he was angry basically. But yeah, main event, AJ Styles and Jinder Mahal. Sorry, my voice is horrible. I'm gonna need a drink. Fanta. We like Fanta in my house. So yeah, AJ Styles and Jinder Mahal. This was by far Jinder Mahal's best match ever. AJ Styles is a genius. He is a god. Basically, at the beginning, Jinder showed his power game, but eventually AJ would go for the leg of Jinder. But then, as On the outside, Jinder would whip AJ into a part of the barricade where the padding would come off, injuring AJ's ribs, and would then go to work on the ribs. So he would suplex throw him on the announce table. He would then lock a triangle around the ribs in the ring. It started as kind of boring heat, but it wasn't as boring as usual. Eventually, he hit a gut check for a good near fall, which was a really good near fall, actually. Then AJ would fight back, hit the forearm to a seated Jinder, hit the phenomenal blitz and with the back fist and all that sort of stuff, which was good. AJ got a sunset flip. Oh no, an electric chair on Jinder at one point, which was good as well. I'm trying to think what else happened. I've only just watched the match. I should really have all this to memory. Oh, it was a really, really good spot where AJ, because of the injured ribs, could not do an Ushigoroshi. So what he did was he whipped Jinder off towards the ropes, and with the momentum that Jinder had, he gave him that Ushigoroshi. I thought that was actually a really smart, well done spot. AJ went for the phenomenal forearm to Jinder. Jinder basically pushed his legs out. AJ fell ribs first on the ropes, which was also a really, really good spot. AJ just sells it like he's dead. Then basically Jinder AJ went 1 minute. I'm trying to remember. I'm so trying to remember. Oh yeah, sorry. So AJ hit the 450 splash on Jinder, the springboard 450, and he was covering 1-2, but then the Sings start to pull Jinder's body out of the ring, and AJ's pulling it back, and basically AJ says, no, I'm not having you do this. He gives one of them a phenomenal forearm, and then he gives the other a Styles Clash. But as he gets back in the ring to give Jinder a phenomenal forearm, Jinder moves, knees AJ in the back, hits the Coloss, 1-2, AJ kicks out. That made me so happy to see AJ kick out of the Coloss clean, like in the center of the ring. Awesome. And then Jinder picks up AJ, goes for the Styles Clash himself. AJ counters it, locks in the calf crusher, working on that injured leg earlier on in the match. Jinder fights through, nearly gets to the ropes, but AJ turns him over, locks it in even stronger, and eventually Jinder Mahal has to tap out. AJ Styles retains the WWE title, and Jinder Mahal will never ever get a WWE Championship match again, which makes me so happy. Where does Jinder go? I couldn't give a crap. This match was the best match on the show, 3 3/4 stars, and that is how you end Clash of Champions. Now, this has been a quicker video than usual, but basically there was 6 matches, and one of them was 2 minutes long. And basically, in reviewing Clash of Champions, it's kind of a harmless show. Like, nothing on it was particularly bad, nothing on it was particularly good. It's definitely a filler show. That's how Clash of Champions feels. I don't remember, but I know in WCW Clash of Champions was a big show, and this didn't feel like a big show. It really didn't. But it was a harmless show. Nothing was bad. There was some very good wrestling. There was the best match of Jinder Mahal's career, where AJ Styles put on... that man is amazing. And that is how you... rating it, really, I can't really give it any more than like a 6 out of 10. If there was one other 4-star match in this show, then I could give it more. But, the best match of Jinder Mahal's career is on this show, so... If you like Jinder Mahal, then watch this match where he loses and we'll never get another WWE title match. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. This has been Roll Russell. Like, comment, subscribe for more. Tell me your thoughts. What did you think to Dolph Ziggler winning the US title? What did you think to the Usos? Do you think that the Bludgeon Brothers are the next tag team champions after the Usos? Do you think could be Rusev and English because they seem to be proper over with their act, as the Usos are with the Uso Penitentiary? What do you think to the Lumberjack match? What do you think to the Riot Squad? Who do you think is going to be the next women's champion? To me, it's probably going to be Ruby Riott. It can't be Liv or Sarah Logan, really. Sarah Logan hasn't been established enough, and Liv Morgan isn't good enough. What did you think to the Zayn Owens finish? Do you think that it was... I think the finish was actually quite good. I think it was done well, because it makes Bryan look like quite a babyface to actually put the heels over in the end. And I guess that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. This has been Raw Slot. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm going to have a couple of videos up. I'm hoping soon. I'm going to be going back home soon. So, I've got a lot to talk about at home. Obviously, I went to WWE Nottingham and I never got to talk about that. And there's loads of games I've played that I'd love to talk about. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. This has been Revolver Rosselot.